Now, my first guest, Tina Paterson, is a corporate culture pioneer and author of the new book, Effective Remote Teams: How to Lead Yourself and Your Team to Achieve Extraordinary Outcomes Without Burnout. That's the important one to remember. Tina has steered teams to deliver transformation programs and projects worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Tina, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. It's always nice to have someone on deck.
Absolute pleasure, Mike.
So first up, let's talk a little bit about hybrid working and whether or not it actually improves productivity based on what you've seen. It's obviously been a strange couple of years.
Absolutely. Mike, employees want choice and flexibility. When we give the employees choice about where they work, studies have shown that they're a lot more engaged, and as such also, they're a lot more productive.
There you go. Yeah, I imagine, I'm trying to work out whether I'd be more productive at home. Maybe not, I don't know. But that's just me. Do you think it's necessary to return to the office at all based on what we've seen as people have slowly crept back out of lockdown?
There are absolutely interactions that make so much more sense when you don't have that screen between you like we are right now. So the key is for leaders to think about what is the role of the office for their team, for connection, collaboration, for innovation, so that they can really think through how best to be able to work with their team effectively.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about what the office actually means for a team. So
Absolutely.
You talk about, and I like this, outcomes over hours in your book. Is that a leadership style challenge for large global corporations to adopt? It seems like many people might just look past that, especially the big guys.
Yeah, so as you probably know, many corporate leaders have grown their careers through working 80+ hour weeks in the office.
Yeah.
Large organisations, though, need to realise that what made leaders successful in our pre-pandemic past is not necessarily going to facilitate effective leadership moving forward.
Yes, that's definitely changed the way we look at it there. And of course, remote work has left some leaders in Zoom meetings all day long. I feel like I empathise with that at times. What's your advice on back-to-back meetings? And perhaps I should listen into this one as well when it comes to speaking to a camera.
Absolutely. I believe it's the responsibility of the leader to build time for themselves as well as for their team so that they can recharge. So even if you do have back-to-back meetings, to think about a micro moment that you could create to recharge in between your meetings, because it absolutely means that you're going to be a lot more effective in your next meeting, but also long-term, it will prevent burnout.
Sort of like holding your breath and just hoping it goes through rather than just stepping back and having a moment. I really like that. So you also talk about being clear on what really matters, and this is one that everybody struggles with, I think, at times. Is it possible that when team members are overloaded and expectations are really high, I mean, things get out of control, how do you, I'm starting to get anxious thinking about it and talking about it, so help me.
Absolutely. I actually think it's more important to be clear on what really matters when you are overworked, when you are overloaded and there are high expectations. And so the key is to think through about the loss of energy, and the loss of productivity happens when you work on the things that don't matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so also there, you can get stuck where you think that everything is important if you don't prioritise. And the price that you pay for this, though, is a lot longer hours, a loss of productivity, and also ultimately it can lead to burnout.
Sort of a psychological stubbing of the toe, if you will, and stopping the team. But Tina, thank you so much for your time today. Do you want to just tell us where we can get our hands on the book if leaders are looking to learn a bit more about what you've got to say?
Thanks, Mike. They can find it at effectiveremoteteams.com.
Done and dusted, easy as. Thanks again for coming in. It's always great to see people in the studio. So.
Thanks so much, Mike.